Hey guys, my name is Larissa and welcome back to my channel. Now today we're going to talk about the lessons that I've learned from YouTube University as a small content creator with under 500 subscribers. Now I've been on YouTube here for 4 years, but to tell you the story we have to start at the beginning. So let's do a little bit of a flashback here. The year is 2020 and everything was changing around me. I was getting an entirely new career, lots of changes were happening with my family, and obviously COVID. So lots of people picked up different hobbies during COVID, and mine just happened to be starting a YouTube channel.
Hello friends, my name is Larissa and I'm here to welcome you first of all to my channel, and next to show you a really cool video about some 2020 fashion trends that you might want to incorporate into your...
It had been something that I always wanted to do. I had followed creators like Joe Franco, Tess Christine, and Best Dressed for years at that point, and I just thought to myself, I want to do that. My journey was begun. I started with clothes and outfits that I already had, making different type of outfit videos, but it was mostly thrifting and things that I already had because I had $0 and 0 cents. This was a hard category to kind of keep up with and maintain because it kind of required having new clothes in order to generate new content, which was really difficult to me because of the hence $0 and 0 cents. These beginning videos were really bad. I lacked consistency, I didn't have a great camera, I didn't have any idea how to edit, let alone any design skills when you're talking about thumbnails. I didn't really have any idea of what the process of creating a video was at that point. I was editing my videos on my iPad, with no storage, not to mention. That brings us to our first lesson of the day. You're only a true failure if you give up. I haven't really had this crazy blow up here on YouTube. I have about 45-ish long form videos and about 50 or so reels at this point, and each one of my subscribers have been pretty hard earned. But I will say that there is a value to doing something that you just purely enjoy out of the depths of your soul, and that's what YouTube started to become for me. It's a wonderful creative outlet that I can do whatever with it that I want. And I quickly realized, even getting into the modeling space and fashion industry, there's a lot less creativity than you think would be there, because at the end of the day, it's still a capitalistic system in a business. I'm at the point where I'm always kind of trying something new and trying different styles of editing and thumbnails and different things on my channel, because at this point, nobody's really checking for me and I can do what I want. And I don't really have a developed audience yet, though, where they're expecting something consistent from me every single time. So it's really truly been a process of trying to understand what I like best when it comes to the creativity aspect, ranging from picking the music to scripting the videos to deciding on the content topics of the videos themselves, how much I want to talk about, what niches I want to kind of fill. I also don't believe fully in niches, by the way, but we can get to that later. It's been a real process of figuring out my creative style and enjoying the process of getting to the point of creativity and creating the type of channel that I really adore and love. And one of my first travel videos was actually my family's trip to Belize back in 2021, and that was actually the last family trip that I was able to take with my dad. So it's always going to be something that holds a place in our heart because it's like a video scrapbook. I'm able to look back on it whenever I'm feeling sad or down, and that wouldn't exist without me intentionally taking clips and videos and things and trying to create these beautiful videos for my channel. Lesson 2, invest in yourself. I haven't made a single dollar off of YouTube, but I know that that won't always be true. I've been on YouTube now for a little bit under 4 years, and in this process, I've grown and changed so much in terms of the tools that I'm using to accomplish my videos. I have to say, maybe about a year into my YouTube journey, when I had my channel, I decided to forego my old original editing method, which was using my iPad, actually, that had no storage on it, that was such a pain, to upgrade and buy a MacBook Pro. And I felt so official walking out of that Apple store with my new computer, and I felt so motivated and excited to create videos. And still to this day, I take it everywhere with me and I'm able to, be more productive. And I've invested in having the ability to create better and better videos. And by that same logic, I ended up getting a Canva Pro subscription. I think that happened actually about maybe 2 years ago. And I just felt like Canva, like the free version, just wasn't giving me access to all the fonts and the styles that I wanted. I used Canva for making my thumbnails. It's like one of the best options and opportunities to make thumbnails with. And so it just became this really good opportunity for me to grow and get better and better at thumbnails, because thumbnails are extremely important when you're growing your channel. And finally, let's talk about non-monetary investments. Time. I have spent hours and hours poring over different kinds of books, listening to podcasts, and even watching other creators here on YouTube University talk about how to grow, maintain, and sustain a channel. It's forced me to develop and hone so many different skills. I've become a videographer, an editor, a designer, a script writer, a makeup artist, a hairstylist. I feel like I need more fingers. Gotten better at developing lighting, and finally developing a camera presence and speaking to you guys through the camera. Lesson number 3, solving the modern day social media problem. Within social media today, there's a serious problem that exists that has to do with the dopaminergic reward system. Basically, you post a video, people like it, people engage with it, you receive a hit of dopamine, and it becomes addictive. It's a physiological response, and there's so many studies that have shown that the dopamine interacts in a pretty unhealthy way in your brain. It's physiological, we can't really fight it, and to be honest, we all know we do it. But for me, YouTube ain't that. For me, YouTube is more like painstakingly giving a piece of art time and energy and production just for it to flop within the first 24 hours of posting. Maybe it goes on and becomes one of your best performing videos of all time within the year. I'm looking at you, Northern Lights video. Or maybe it stays at beneath 100 views and you're sitting there questioning and confused. The journey itself sort of detaches you from the outcome of your piece of content, because at the end of the day, it's much different and a much less instant than other platforms like TikTok and Instagram. YouTube is the second largest search engine in the entire world, right after Google. And therefore, your content you post on YouTube can be considered more evergreen. I had to learn what that word meant. Evergreen means that your video is going to be more universally and continually relevant. It's not limited in applicability to event or date, which means your content can have a longer lasting and wider reaching effect because of the search engine functions as well as algorithmic changes. You never really know with YouTube. It's definitely possible that you could have posted a video about your homemade apple cider 3 years ago, and due to the world and the climate changing, that homemade apple cider video can go crazy now because people are making homemade apple cider and it's a trend. You never really know with YouTube, whereas with the other platforms, that's not really gonna happen. Once you post something on Instagram, and definitely once you post something on TikTok, within an hour or so, it kind of falls into the abyss of the internet. And I just don't love putting in so much time and energy into creating long or short form content for it to not really have any relevance an hour after posting. And yes, based on sheer number of users, the space can definitely be considered saturated, but the way I like to look at it is you're able to put your own unique and interesting spin on your content, because instead of getting it 10 seconds like the rest of the other platforms, you're getting it 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever you want, in order to really delve deep into your topic and your subject and create a more consistent bond and basis based on more substantial things. Also, the average YouTube viewer is coming to the platform more primed and prepared in order to give their attention to something for longer than just 10 seconds. Lesson 4, time equals growth, and that's your friend. Most creators on this platform, despite what you may think, don't magically blow up overnight. And that's okay. You often hear stories about how the creators that do blow up often drop off, get burnt out, experience too much negative and harsh criticism too fast that they weren't even ready for, and it ends up working out to be kind of a bad situation. In my opinion, slow, sustained growth is the only way to save yourself from the dark side of the internet. It's not to say that you won't ever encounter negative comments, but it's working yourself up to the place where you can handle the level and the kinds of comments that you're getting, because you're having a slow and sustained period of growth and have more and more people encounter your videos and more commentary, and you're able to steel yourself against the changes that includes. If you're able to have incremental growth and more people seeing your content in a slow and sustained manner, you're able to develop a calloused outer shell to some of those negative comments that you might be getting, instead of the onslaught that some of these people that absolutely blow up really quickly and really crazily do have. At least that's my personal opinion. You don't have to believe it, but we'll see what happens when this video blows up. We live in the most instant society ever, and that's absolutely delusional to me when I really look at it in the big picture. I've never learned as much as I have if I had quit within the first couple years of having a YouTube and not really having very much traction on my videos. It's good to know that as things happen and as I grow, my channel is growing with me, and I have to believe that that's a beautiful thing. I want to validate you. Being a creator is hard. Most people in the world are consumers or criticizers, and it takes a lot to put yourself out there and to create content for the world to see. Don't let subscriber count measure your worth. The beginning of this year, I really decided that I wanted to get to 5,000 subscribers, and that was going to be my goal. But somewhere around halfway through the year, I realized your goals can't be controlled by the outcome of other people's decisions. I can't go out of my way to somebody's house to make them subscribe to my channel, open up their computer, and force their hand. But I can do things that are within my own control. So I've decided this year I want to get better at learning the process of lighting, and I want to become a better storyteller. I think I've had about 3 videos cross the 5,000 viewer mark, and I'm not going to lie to you guys, it feels really good. But it also feels good to do videos like this, where I'm able to sit down and really look at the progress and the process of how far I've come. As always, to my fellow small creators, let's support each other. Let's like, let's engage, let's subscribe, let's repost. Let's do everything we need to do to help each other grow. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and have a good one.
Hi, baby boy. You're so handsome. You're so handsome.